The mystery of the lost city of Atlantis. Legend, theories, and exploration. For centuries, the legend of Atlantis has captured the imagination of historians, philosophers, and adventurers alike. First mentioned by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, around 360 BCE, Atlantis has since become one of the greatest mysteries in human history. A mythical civilization that vanished without a trace. But was Atlantis real, or just a moral tale with no historical basis? Let's dive deep into the legend of Atlantis, explore the various theories surrounding its existence, and consider why it continues to intrigue us today. The legend of Atlantis. Plato introduced the story of Atlantis in two of his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias. According to him, Atlantis was a powerful and technologically advanced civilization that existed about 9,000 years before his time. Located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, believed to be the modern-day Strait of Gibraltar, Atlantis was a massive island with a highly developed society, flourishing agriculture, and military might. Plato describes Atlantis as a utopian society, rich in natural resources and ruled by a noble and wise lineage of kings. However, as the Atlanteans grew in power, their moral and spiritual values began to deteriorate. They became greedy, corrupt, and expansionist, attempting to conquer neighboring lands. The gods, angered by their hubris, decided to punish them. In a single day and night of cataclysmic disaster, Atlantis was swallowed by the sea, disappearing forever beneath the waves. Plato's tale was meant as a moral allegory, warning against the dangers of pride and excess. However, over the centuries, many have speculated whether Atlantis was a real place, with some believing it was an actual advanced civilization that met with a catastrophic end. Theories about Atlantis. Since Plato's time, scholars, adventurers, and theorists have proposed numerous ideas about the location and fate of Atlantis. Some believe that Plato's story was purely fictional, while others insist it was based on real events. Here are some of the most popular theories. 1. Atlantis as a real place. Some researchers suggest that Atlantis was a real location, possibly a Bronze Age civilization that was destroyed by a natural disaster. They argue that Plato's account, though embellished with mythology, may have been based on an actual event or civilization. Over the years, several potential sites for Atlantis have been proposed. Santorini, Thera. One of the most credible theories places Atlantis in the Aegean Sea, specifically on the island of Santorini. In around 1600 BCE, the island was home to the advanced Minoan civilization, which was devastated by one of the largest volcanic eruptions in history. This eruption caused much of the island to sink and may have triggered tsunamis that affected the surrounding region, including Crete. Some scholars believe the destruction of Thera could have inspired the story of Atlantis. Crete. Some researchers argue that the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete, known for its advanced architecture, writing system, and maritime prowess, may have been the basis for Atlantis. The civilization mysteriously declined around 1450 BCE, possibly due to natural disasters, invasions, or societal collapse. The Americas. A more unconventional theory suggests that Atlantis was located in the Americas, with some linking the story to ancient civilizations like the Maya or Inca. While these civilizations were indeed advanced, there is little evidence to directly connect them to the legend of Atlantis. 2. A moral allegory. Many scholars believe that Plato's story of Atlantis was never meant to be taken literally. According to this interpretation, Atlantis was a fictional creation, a parable designed to illustrate Plato's philosophical ideas about the dangers of greed, hubris, and the corrupting influence of power. In this view, Atlantis represents any society that grows too arrogant and detached from morality, eventually leading to its downfall. This interpretation is supported by the fact that Plato was known for using allegories to convey his philosophical ideas, and no other ancient sources corroborate the story of Atlantis. 3. Atlantis as an exaggerated historical event. Another theory is that Plato's tale of Atlantis was based on a real historical event, but exaggerated for dramatic effect. Some have suggested that Plato may have drawn on memories of a natural disaster, such as the volcanic eruption on Thera, an earthquake, or a tsunami. Over time, these events could have been mythologized into the story of an entire civilization sinking into the sea. 4. Antarctica and Atlantis. A fringe theory suggests that Atlantis was located in Antarctica. Proponents of this theory, known as the Atlantis-Antarctica hypothesis, argue that Atlantis could have been a continent that shifted southward due to plate tectonics and is now buried under the ice of Antarctica. While this theory is largely discredited by mainstream science, it has captured the imagination of many and adds to the mystery of Atlantis. Why the legend endures. The mystery of Atlantis has endured for millennia, continuing to captivate people across the world. But why does this ancient tale still resonate so deeply in modern times? A lost golden age. Atlantis represents the idea of a lost golden age, a time when human civilization was more advanced, prosperous, and morally superior. The thought that such a civilization could have existed and vanished fascinates us because it taps into our longing for perfection in the fear of losing it. The search for knowledge. The story of Atlantis also reflects humanity's eternal quest for knowledge. Whether or not Atlantis existed, the search for it represents our desire to uncover hidden truths and lost worlds, a journey that extends beyond mere archaeology into philosophy, spirituality, and even science fiction. Moral lessons. On a deeper level, the legend of Atlantis serves as a timeless cautionary tale. It warns us about the dangers of hubris, greed, and moral decay. In a world where societies rise and fall, the story of Atlantis reminds us that no matter how powerful or advanced a civilization becomes, it is not immune to destruction if it loses its moral compass. Conclusion. The mystery of Atlantis is unlikely to be solved definitively, but that may be part of its enduring allure. Whether real or imagined, the story of Atlantis continues to inspire explorers, historians, and dreamers alike. It speaks to our fascination with lost civilizations, our yearning for a perfect past, and our fear of the consequences of moral decline. As long as the sea holds its secrets, the legend of Atlantis will remain a symbol of mystery, adventure, and the endless search for truth.